basically, coaching is a partnership between a coach and a client to help that person get into action, to help explore ideas, to help troubleshoot problems. It's a thinking partnership. And ultimately, it's towards action. And a lot of time with getting into action, we find ourselves getting stuck. And we're not really sure why. We know, oh, I know I need to do that thing, but I'm not sure what's getting in the way. And in a partnership with a coach, you're able to kind of explore what's getting in the way, and that not getting into action isn't a bad thing, it's just information. You say, well, okay, if this is something that I'm stuck around, let's try and understand what's getting in the way. And sometimes that's emotional, and sometimes it's resources, training, skills. And let's put it out there, and let's figure out how you're going to get to the next place. And then let's see what happens when you try something. And so then you come back the next week and talk and say, well, what worked, what didn't work? And there you go. Now you're on this process of making change in your life as a client. So it's great in transitions. It's great through periods where you're uncertain about what the next step might be. Well, as an executive coach, technically I'm often brought into organizations with executives and leaders to help them with their leadership. Maybe they are in a program to develop high potential leaders, and along with training, they might get a coach for some period of time to help them work through their particular issues that they're having with their team, with mastering this idea of being a leader. Maybe they're getting information from their boss or somewhere else that they're not being effective. And so we sit down, we figure out how to resolve that. Or an individual might bring me in as a coach, and they might say, look, it's not part of a large organization, it's just me that needs some kind of getting unstuck somewhere. And a lot of times we help our clients just think bigger, think bigger about your life and get you beyond, your day-to-day is busy and full, and how do we take a moment to just pick our head up and say, what else might be possible for me in my life? I see a lot of DoD, CIA, NSA, where they're doing their other job, but they're being trained as coaches.
I am a 12-year Air Force veteran. I have a master's, a BA, a BS, and a master's in exercise physiology. So all of my training, 25 plus years, has been in the wellness and health space. I also have a certificate in plant-based nutrition. So I have a lot of this knowledge, and I left, and I'm like, what am I going to do with myself now? And how do I capture what I've used for all these years and what I know to be, something that I'm passionate about? And so I started to think about coaching. And as you've heard, what coaching is and what coaching isn't, that is truly how I approach my clients. I don't tell them what to do. We might banter back and forth and brainstorm together, but I never tell them what to do. So my transition from the military was absolutely horrible. And it wasn't horrible because I didn't have the tools in front of me. It was horrible from a mental space and a psychological space. I went from Major Baskin to Monique, and I didn't know who Monique was. So part of that journey in being where I am now was me learning about who I was and what it was that I wanted to do, and realizing it was a friend sitting at lunch, and she was like, Monique, you graduated with a BS in ex-biz, and you have a master's, and you've been doing it in the military. Why don't you do something with that? It's talking to your support group and talking to different people that you meet that gives you nuggets to propel you towards the next step. I have also gone to SCORE. If you don't know what SCORE is, it's a subsidiary of the SBA, Small Business Administration, that gives you free coaches as well. And so in talking to them, my business model has shifted from individual clients. So by word of mouth, if I find an individual client, that's fine, I'm not going to turn them away. But primarily, I'm looking for those government contracts.
And in career coaching especially, and in business coaching, it's really hard to make any progress if you're not willing to commit to at least 8 to 10 sessions. That becomes fairly expensive. So when me and my business partner at the time, we had to make a commitment of at least 3 months, which entailed, I forget how many sessions, but you had to pay a certain amount of money up front that guaranteed like the first 2 sessions, and then each hourly session after that was billed accordingly. But it was I was really glad I did it, because in career coaching especially, you sort of touch all aspects of coaching. You touch on, sort of your executive coaching, you touch on life coaching, you touch on career coaching, maybe not so much the wellness piece, but you really have to try to find out who you are and what you're interested in doing in your life. And the great thing about being certified as a coach is that it gives you a lot of tools. Like the coach that we hired, you could tell she had been through a lot of training. She had a lot of great tools. The first thing we used, besides a questionnaire of, sort of how do you see your highest, where's your future self, a lot of touchy-feely things that, I have to be honest, coming from a finance background, was very, very hard for me to even answer these questions, because I'm like, who gives a shit? Where I am at the end of my life, and what are people going to say about me when I'm on my deathbed? I mean, it was just really, really like gut-wrenching kinds of questions you had to answer. And then we did this mind map, which I'm sure all the official coaches here know how to. Also a very interesting experience to help you, and I would recommend for a lot of you people that are transitioning out of the military, trying to find out what it is that you want to do, I would suggest doing a mind map, and you can find them online. They're a great tool for you to sort of hone in on, what do you think you're good at? What do you think you're not good at? More importantly, what do you like to do? What do you hate to do? And where do they mesh? Because sometimes when you do these mind maps, you find out, this is what I love to do, but I'm really bad at it. So, how do I fill in those gaps? And it really, really does hone in on what your strengths are and how you can translate those strengths into a career.
So my name's Patty. I am military window caregiver, and I've been caring for my husband for about 10 years. So he's gotten better, and I'm trying to figure out how to do less caregiving and kind of get back to my own life. And probably in the last year I felt really, really stuck, as you could say. I had goals, but I just wasn't really moving towards any of them, and I couldn't figure out why. So I sat down with another caregiver who had been using this life coach. So she gave me the information, and I put it off for about 6 months because I was like, I don't know about that. And I gave him a call, and honestly, these people out there, they do want to help. And it can be somewhat pricey, but for this community, like my life coach gives me a huge discount, which is awesome. And I think there's a lot of them out there that would be happy to help any of you at a lower cost, honestly. So my life coach, what we just to tell you about what he does and the progress we've made is he started with a way. Like, we all have a way that we get through the day, a way of being, and we had to paint a visual picture of that way, of how I spend my everyday. So our way is that I'm the one-woman band. So I play 100 instruments, and I don't play any of them very well. And I run around trying to play guitar here and a violin over here, and this is my way. And it's been my way for at least 10 years. And it's exhausting. And the exhausted one-woman band. So then we paint a visual picture of a new way, and is the guarded lifeguard. So I am to put on my suntan lotion first, make sure I'm physically fit, and I only jump in when there's a true emergency. This is what my new way is supposed to be, what we're working towards. So this is helpful to me because we have kind of a visual of where I am and where I'm moving to.